Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, What's Up with Richard? And on today's episode, we're going to take a look at the trike, the TerraTrike EVO. Now, yesterday, Mrs. G and I took a road trip to Goshen, Indiana, where I took the trike to the bike shop that's located there, the Lincoln Avenue Cycles. And we had some work done on the trike, and I'll show you what we had done. If you notice something a little different here, I have front fenders now on the trike. Yeah, last fall I got into some real gooey stuff all over my sleeves. I said, that's it. I'm putting fenders on the bike. So I bought them from TerraTrike when they had their Black Friday sale. So I got a pretty good price on them. Now, these red stripes did not come with the fenders. I actually added those myself. On some of my previous videos, I mentioned that I was having trouble with my brakes. So I did have the brake pads and the rotors replaced on both sides. And it brakes much quieter and more smoothly than it did before. Over here, you can see the old tires. Now, they still have plenty of tread on them. The issue was that these front tires are too wide and the fender was rubbing against it. Now, I thought that might be an issue, so I put these, or I had them put these Schwalbe tires on here. These are the road cruiser tires. They're not marathons like I liked, but they do have the green guard protection, flat protection, and they are narrower than the other tires, and no issues with rubbing on the fenders. One thing I did here was raise this up away from the fender. I was having a hard time attaching and reattaching the back bag. Battery is installed, but I haven't put the safety strap on yet. My lights are in the house, and they're in the state of getting charged up. First, let's put this rear bag on. If you notice, we have a couple Velcro straps here, and have a couple on the front. Now, I'll do a review of this later this summer. Those straps, though, way too short. Way too short. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't spend a fortune on this thing. I don't think it was much more than $35. But still, come on. You couldn't put another inch of straps on there, because it's very difficult to get those to go around this bar and attach to that Velcro. Just doesn't want to fit with the solid piece in the middle. I start by putting these two straps on first, which is easier said than done. As you can see, it's not much to attach there. And this one doesn't want to attach very much at all. Yeah, slide it over the best I can. Go at an angle, and then straighten it up. That's about as good as it gets. And then this can come down. Now that I have the front straps on, it's time for the side straps. And these have to go under here. over the fender. So does this one. Oh yeah, that's going to be a whole lot easier. And then this comes up. This comes up through here. Do I have to go under here? Here. Like that. And then underneath. Through here. Through that little loop. One of the things that they advertise is easy to take off, which it is. It is not easy to put back on. And that is that. I have this little bag. This has been on every single one of my bikes since I started riding seriously in 2005. So 20 years ago, I bought this. It's been on all my bikes. It's pretty much the only remnant I got left from some of those bikes. And that just clicks on there. And of course, I open this up, and what do I have? Nothing. Yeah, zip it back up here. If I can find a zip, there we go. And then in here, I have pepper spray, which I have never used. But it's there just in case. All right, if I can find it somewhere in this mess. Here we go. I have the TerraTrike. This is the seat bag. This is a small one. They do have a larger one that's a little bit bigger, and there are times I wish I had purchased that. The one thing I didn't like is that it clipped onto these things here, and I wasn't sure how that would ride if I put a lot of weight in it. So this one just fits over the back of the seat like this. And that's pretty much all there is to that. Now, I do have some issues with this, and that is, let me pull this off. Underneath here, metal grommet, which I've covered with some felt material. But look at this, metal. And when metal hits metal, it makes a clank. And these are the spots where the flags go in. And yes, the flags wiggle back and forth, and they do clank a little bit. So I'm going to work on putting maybe some more felt here. Let me get a flag and put it in there, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we put the flags in. This one goes over on this side, and it just slides right down in there. And we do the same thing on this side. Now this side isn't, this flag on this side isn't too bad. Doesn't make a lot, but this one does clank. You hear that? That's what I hear. And I think that's just, this is a lot thicker plastic than this one is. So that can get annoying. It's not a, and I think I can cure some of that. I tried it with putting some tape on the actual bottom of each of the flagpoles. I'll see what happens. And one of the things I absolutely have to do to get this into the car is take the mirrors off, which isn't really that big of a deal. It's the adjusting when I'm done that is the issue. I think it's 3 millimeter. 3mm. I just put that in, and all I have to do is tighten it up. And I'll also do the same on the mirror on the right side. I'll do the adjusting when I get out on the road.
So Dick called. Our taxes are done.
And Mrs. G is informing us that our taxes are done. Yoo-hoo-hoo! And what is the good news? There is no good news.
Are you taping?
Yeah, I've been taping.
It's not bad.
They're not bad?
It's not bad.
Oh, phew. All right. That's always good when Mrs. G comes in and says, taxes aren't bad. Because there have been years where we've had to pay. And I'm thinking, why would I have to pay more? I already pay a ton in taxes. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Left mirror installed. Right mirror installed. Well, what do I have left to do? I think at least one more thing. There is one thing I forgot, and that's the little bell here. All right, finally, after digging around, I found it. Have you ever had lights that clip onto bikes like this? And then they have these little inserts like this, in case this is too big and that sort of sizes it. Well, that little piece of rubber, don't ever get rid of them. Even if you don't use the, I'm going to stick this in here like this. Even if you don't use that particular clamp on your bike or trike or whatever, don't throw those out because they're very useful. As you will see here in a second, if I can thread that through, and you just put that right underneath there and get that nice and tight again, like that. And that prevents it from slipping around. More than it did anyway. All right, good to go. We got bell. Okay, I guess it's time to get the lights on. Put the front light up there. This light hooks onto the back here. I'll talk more about this bike spark light. It's really a pretty cool thing. And it just clicks in. And then I've had this on 3 or 4 different bikes. It's really getting pretty old, but it still works. There we go. And get her down there. And she's secure, not going anywhere. And there we got blinky lights. All right, let's head to the front. On the front, I have this light. And I usually have it in blinky mode. And this just slides on much easier than the other one does. Just like that. And now, new tires, new brakes. Mirrors are on, but I can tell they're not even close to being adjusted properly. I'll do that in a few minutes here. Flags. Man, just no breeze. It's really nice right now. You got the bags on the back. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to take a test ride. Forgot to put the battery strap on. That's good to go. And I have my Allen wrench to adjust my mirrors. 3mm. All right, that mirror's in pretty good shape. This one is in pretty good shape. So now it's time to tighten and tighten the left one. Oh, let's give her a little power. I'm just going to go down to the end of the block and back. All right, I'm going to push this back into the garage, change my clothes, take a ride. And as always, thanks for watching. What's Up with Richard? Fenders or no fenders? I refuse to ride in this.